Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining again, and welcome to the Dennis Herrera Show. Another crazy day, Trinity in the house. I see you, sis. I see you. I'm always trying to move things around back here, but one day I am going to be very happy with my backdrop. Um, the background, there's some decorations that I want, but I just don't have yet. But eventually I will. Burning 47 was the first one on here, already taunting the libtards that are going to join us today. Brian, good morning, my friend. Good to see you all in here today. As you guys know, there's a couple of things coming on for me today. Only a very selective few actually know what's happening, and I don't think I messaged Trinity about this news, but I will let you know later. Not something that I want everybody to know, but but yes, we are going to be busy this month. It's going to be very nice, especially if we're going to come in here and join the rat race. That's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it the rat race. That's what we're going to be doing here in Washington State. Let me get. Oh, man, I thought I had this already done. Give sec. Okay, let's see. I will pay attention to you guys in just a little bit. Give me 1 second. Of course, we're going to have all the haters joining here pretty soon. Let's see. Okay. There's a couple of things that I can't do until I'm actually live. So when you guys see me clicking around on here on some of the stuff, well, you don't see me clicking, but you see me looking down here, I actually have a couple of things that I have to update in YouTube. And of course, if I had somebody else helping me, then I wouldn't have to do this, and we would just flow the way we need to flow. Let's see, Cray in the house. Welcome, Cray. Welcome. Who else do we got in here today so far? Let's see. Politics. What year will Trump stop acting like a man, baby? That's a very reflective question. Let's see. Steelman says, "What year will Democrats start to care about their own people?" Man, I'll tell you what, man. That's actually hitting the nail on the head. That is exactly what is happening, and had to change my diet a little bit. For some of you don't know, I've been going to the doctor. I can still get my coffee, but I ran out of coffee. Okay. But I had to change my diet a little bit because I received some news that I have too much sugar in my blood, if you know what that means. Hey, Cher Bear, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Uh, I want to go ahead and start off with. Let's go ahead and start off on some negative things. Let's watch some CNN. Let's get some CNN action in here. I need to get rid of some of my tabs. All right, let's see. Let me move this over here. Oh, man. Let's start with some CNN. Let's see what CNN has to tell us. This is going to be the mayor of Minnesota with his words of wisdom. Now, I want you to, hey, Justin, what's going on, baby? I want you to pay attention to the chief. I think he's a chief of police or a superintendent or something, but I want you to pay attention to the police officer next to him.
Joining us now.
Now, you remember how he was with Christine Noem, right? I haven't seen this clip, so we're going to watch it together. But I want to see how he reacts if he questions them the same way that he did Christine Noem, okay? We will go ahead and get into what else is going on with that. There are some things that I'm very, very concerned about. And one of those, it's these people calling for, they're calling to hang Christine Noem. They're calling to kill ICE. And what I find very interesting with that is, none of this leftist legacy media have an outrage for that. Normally somebody will say that about black people or about somebody else in the minority community. They'll be throwing everything. They were throwing the book at us for saying anything. And I find that very, very disturbing. Good morning, Robert. Good to see you in here. Omar, welcome, welcome. Bongino is coming back. Coming back to what? He needs to stay on this podcast and stay there. Let's see. Bruce. Hey, Bruce, how are you? And Cindy. Good morning, Cindy. All right, I think that's all the people that I see in here. Control everything, says Seaball. All right, go ahead. Let it go.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry and Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hare. Mayor Fry, your response to what you just heard from Secretary Noem, she invoked you by name.
That was some wild and crazy.
Oh, I said Minnesota. I meant Minneapolis. I get so confused with those names. I'm bad at names, okay? So excuse my names.
Stuff. It sounds like she doesn't believe a single word that she is saying right now. And I don't know if Donald Trump.
Hold on. I don't care about this man-child like some people say here. Now, Bongino going back to radio, that's where he should stay. He should have never left. See, it's easier to criticize. It's easier to say somebody's not doing a good job. It's easier to say this and that and say, I will do this and I will do. Until you get on those shoes, you really have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Anybody running for any position, whether it would be law enforcement or, for example, governing or senator or whatever position, unless you really believe what you are saying and what you're going to do, while you're running, and unless you believe on that, you're just not going to be doing a good job. And I think Bongino was talking way too much hype, talking way too much crap about the FBI and this and that. And that, let's be honest, there's going to be some things in the government that you and I should never know. There are some things that you can't just tell everybody. You just can't. People are crazy. There is a reason why certain people are in certain positions. So you guys on the left side, you guys know that the people on the left, they're always criticizing President Trump. And they're always talking about, Trump is doing this bad and this, that. And then you see they're protesting on the street. And then you're like, okay, how does that person have the right to say anything about the president? Freedom of speech is one thing, but morally, here, how they have no room to talk. No room to talk. Can you imagine if one of these libtards that are out there cussing out ICE agents, federal agents for doing their job, can you imagine if they were governing? Well, unfortunately, we do have those people in government. Here's one of them, and the police next to him. What a damn shame. But let's go ahead and get into it.
Was drinking a glass of water if she'd actually be able to speak, because here's the thing, she's calling Minneapolis like this dystopian hellhole. You know how many shootings we've had so far this year? 2, and one of them was ICE. 2 shootings in a large city so far this
2 shootings this year, he says. We'll get to it.
entire year, and one of them is ICE. This is a safe city. ICE and Kristi Noem and everything they're doing is making it far less safe.
I want you to respond to what she said about you telling ICE to get the F out. She says you and the leaders in Minneapolis have been demonizing ICE officers, and it is true that you've been critical of Secretary Noem for her quick characterization of the incident, but you also said on Wednesday, quote, this was a federal agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying. Does your rhetoric need to change?
Yeah, I said this was a federal agent recklessly using power that ended up in somebody dying, because that was a federal agent recklessly using power that ended up in somebody dying. It's exactly what happened. I mean, am I biased in this? Of course, and I'm biased because I got 2 eyes. Anybody can see these videos. Anybody can see that this victim is not a domestic terrorist. I mean, my goodness, she's like doing a 3 or a 4 or 5 point turn. This looks like somebody that's trying to get out of there. If doing a 3 point turn or a 4 point turn is a domestic terrorist, and my wife is a criminal every single day. It does not.
His wife probably is a criminal every single day. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If she wanted to get out of there, she should have never been there in the first place. She went in there, was breaking the law, tried to run over, actually hit the guy, but try to run over a federal agent. What do you think is going to happen? Don't blame the ICE agent for reacting in a split-second decision. They're being taunted the whole day. They're being yelled at all day. They're being provoked all day. They're being hated on all day, every day, including by this government, corrupted politicians on the left. What do you expect a human being to react like? If she would have never stepped on the gas to go right through him, he would have never had a reason to shoot. Now, if she was just sitting there in the car and he pulled a gun and started shooting, 100% wrong. 100% wrong. But the matter of the fact is, she stepped on that gas, not slowly. She did it with an intention to hit him and get the hell out of there. It doesn't matter how you pitch it. I've seen all 3 angles of this thing. It doesn't matter how you pitch it. I like how you put in this low IQ liar. You know what that is for Somalis. You're in the wrong chat. You might go to a different chat, my friend. Go hang out with your buddies. So the point is, we have been calling this out for a very, very long time. We said somebody's going to get hurt. Well, somebody got hurt. Let that be a lesson. But that's just the start of it. That's just the start of it. By the way, just so you guys know, from now on, from this moment on, I am only going to be looking at comments from blue and green members unless there's a super chat. Otherwise, your voice in here is irrelevant.
Makes sense. We've got to be operating from a point of course, have this investigation. It should be a neutral, unbiased investigation where you get the facts, you know. And by the way, I shouldn't be the one conducting the investigation, nor should Kristi Noem. But you should have an entity that is able to do it with some common sense and operating in reality.
Chief, what's your reaction to the Homeland Security Secretary's claims and also just the assertion that the officer feared for his life?
Well, I got to tell you, as a matter of policy and training amongst professional police departments for many, many years in this country, we have an obligation to ensure, particularly during traffic stops, that our officers are doing everything possible so that we don't unnecessarily put their lives in jeopardy, so that our officers are not unnecessarily creating a risk of imminent threat of death or serious bodily injury, either to themselves or others. And that means that they have to employ sound tactics and must be proportional in what they do. That being said, it's not always 100%. Law enforcement officers cannot control the actions of other people, and that's why a full and thorough investigation in every case where there is a use of force is necessary. I will be the first one to stand up for my cops when a situation happens and it is abundantly clear that there's no indication to think that an officer could have possibly done anything else. I'll be the first one to stand up and say, my cop put their lives on the line and they did what they have to do, and I have no reason to think that it wasn't anything other than our policy and lawful. But I think, we have to use caution, even as Tom Homan has said, and allow a full and impartial investigation to proceed.
Mayor Frey, the police union in Minnesota released a statement that says in part, quote, the hateful and anti-law enforcement rhetoric by Mayor Frey and other politicians have made their jobs and those of local and state law enforcement more difficult and dangerous. The job of law enforcement is difficult and dangerous enough without the agitation by leaders in our state and communities, unquote. Do you think that you could bring down your rhetoric? Do you think you should?
Well, hang on a second. I support our law enforcement. Our police officers in Minneapolis are doing an incredible job. I am so proud to work with them.
Thank you, Cutting Edge, for the super. And let's remember that she jumped for joy at the murder of Charlie Kirk. Oh. Yeah, go ahead and talk about that, libtards. Not that I'm going to reply to your comments, but go ahead and talk about that part.
I was the guy, by the way, that stood up against defunding the police back when it was hard 5 years ago. And these honorable officers that have stayed and that have come on have been incredible. By the way, community members that have traditionally been pretty critical of law enforcement officers are supporting our police. They have kept people safe. They have done right. They have abided by the Constitution, which is a massive juxtaposition against what we've seen from some of these ICE agents. And yeah, no, they have my support. So, I mean, as far as my position vis-a-vis law enforcement, no, we're there with them.
Well, that's not me. It's the Minnesota Police Union saying that your rhetoric agitates these protesters.
Yep, it does.
Look, I can't speak for the police union. I certainly never will. But I will speak for myself, and I am grateful for the work of police officers in our city, especially over the last several days. I mean, these servants are tired. They're working tirelessly. They're drastically, by the way, out.
I want to hear from the police officer. He wants to say it. I want to hear, you should have never told ICE to get the F out of the town, because they are law enforcement agents. They are federal agents. Whether he likes it or not, he needs to know his place, and he needs to be held accountable for this violence that is rising up against law enforcement. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I have seen some horrific videos of some law enforcement, police, local police, using brutality. They have been fired. They have been put in jail, and as they deserve it. But those are people that are abusing their power. And we're just not going to tolerate that. But this person trying to run over an agent, she has been known to be a warrior for the cause against ICE. Are you serious? Right? The whole little thing with the neck? Yeah. These are violent people. Just because you smile, I don't have anything against you. Step on the gas. Yeah, right. Whatever. We know psychopaths. We know people that are crazy. If even though this is a movie, I hate people that act like this, like like a teacher from Harry Potter, from the movie. You remember that evil lady that came in and she was like, oh, smiley like Mary Poppins, but she was hella evil? That is the psychopaths that we have. That is the crazy people that we have. And that lady, Renee Good, which is bad, she looks just like that lady. And she was over there agitating, breaking the law, obstructing federal agents, bringing violence against law enforcement agents. You can't do that. You cannot do that. And let me tell you something. If you know somebody on the left that wants to ask for something, I'm going to tell you something. They're going to double, and they're going to put more ICE agents, and they're going to bring the National Guard, and they will bring martial law. If you don't get upset about these stupid people, you are allowing people with mental problems to go out there and protest. You understand that? They're messing up our First Amendment right. They are making us look bad. That's not how you protest. You're going to get that taken away from us. I don't care how you slice it and dice it. You are misusing your freedoms, your rights. And you're going to make all of us pay for your stupidity. So we cannot stand with you. Do you understand that? I stand with ICE.
Numbered by the number of ICE agents and beyond that we have in our city right now, and they deserve our full-throated support.
Mayor, what would you say to somebody who says, look, these ICE agents, they're also law enforcement. They're doing a job that they were sent to do by President Trump and Secretary Noem. They're not there because they want to be there. They're there because they were told to be there. And if people have an issue with it,
that's true.
They shouldn't be protesting the ICE agents. They should be protesting outside the White House.
Yep.
Well, and I think that's probably a fair point in that, look, of course you need to enforce laws, of course, but
I have never protested. Never.
There's also a requirement that you carry out laws and carry out enforcement in a constitutional way. And what we've seen is that people are being plucked off the street indiscriminately. I take that back. There's discrimination only to the extent that they are Latino or they are Somali, and then it feels indiscriminate thereafter.
Pizza guy, good morning. Yeah, you keep your word. You keep your word. Let's see. Stop lying, Dennis. You are trying to mess up people's First Amendment right. We are paying for your stupidity as you cover up a murder. Well, I like your comment. Number one, thank you for the super chat. You're awesome, bro. You know, I don't know if like people just we just see things different. We see things different. You know, I was always taught that if you want change in your country, protesting is one way to doing it. But you have to do it peacefully. You have to organize. See, if you want to block the streets, there is a way. There is a way to do it legally. You got to ask for a permit. It has to be approved. If it's not approved, you can protest peacefully. I'm going to give you an example. In North Everett, they did the whole No Kings protest. I'm against that, right? I'm against it. But I was driving down on the road and all the protesters, they were yelling, but they were on the sidewalk with their signs. There was no need for police to be involved because everybody was protesting peacefully. That doesn't mean quietly. They were yelling. I got my MAGA hat on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm driving in there. And you know, and I am also letting my voice be heard. MAGA, baby, let's go, Trump. President Trump is my president. And you know what? Nobody was violent. I appreciate that. Yeah, some people were pissed off. Well, anybody can get pissed off. But see, pizza guy, that is exercising the First Amendment. I agree with them 100%. 100%. You know when the union protests, you know, for the employees, they don't go blocking streets. And if they do, they have a permit. But here, for example, Boeing employees, they were complaining about the wages and something else, right? Not once did we see them blocking the streets here. We were all able to go to work undisturbed, and we saw them standing on the sidewalk protesting, and we'll honk at them, you know, in support. We'll honk at them and be like, yeah, you know, keep doing the good work, blah, blah, blah. Why? Because, you know, they have the right to do that. They will come out and they will put in some grills, you know, and, you know, some little, you know, covered tents, because they can do that. They can do that. They're protesting, but they're on the sidewalk. They're staying away from traffic. They're staying away from harm. They're doing it safely. And people actually notice and they get more support because they're peaceful. But when you're protesting and you're agitating and you're blowing whistles and you're just like this very disorienting, nobody appreciates that. I know that they're doing that, you know, to piss off the agents, but they're pissing us off. They're annoying us. As if they say, if they want to go protest, go to the White House. Go outside the White House. Protest with your whistles and everything. Go over there. Go to Olympia, the capital of Washington State. Go to any state's capital. Go and protest there. That's fine, but you got to do it peacefully, okay? Because otherwise, how can we support you? You know, we try to, let's put it this way, many pay for the few. Yeah, that's true, bro. And we don't want that. But you know what? Being peaceful attracts more people. Let me give you a story and see if this makes sense to you guys. It doesn't matter. There is no way you will win the midterms. 70% of the population will vote Democrat. It's sad you guys are so brainwashed. So thanks for the super chat. Tell me, pizza guy, what do you think is going to happen to this country when it becomes a socialist communist country? What do you think is going to happen? Now, before because your support, I appreciate it. Before you answer, I want you to look up what happened to Cuba and Venezuela. Robert, do we let the chat ride? Robert, I'm only paying attention to super chats, blue and green comments. Now, I can't get to everybody's comments, but only super chats will be acknowledged. So don't worry about them. Let them put their hate on there. It doesn't matter because they are not here to convince me. You have to understand. If I read your comment, hey, be thankful, and I appreciate you for being patient. Don't be demanding. And please, if there's somebody being racist on the chat, get rid of them. That's a zero tolerance, okay? Anybody doing hate speeches and threatening my life, you can get rid of them. That's okay. As a matter of fact, don't even get rid of them. Just put them in timeout, okay? So if you're going to put somebody, put them in timeout, 5, 10, 30, and then we can put them on 24-hour leave, okay? They have to go to the corner if they don't listen. They want to be treated like children. They can be treated like children. Okay, so Pizza Guy, go ahead and look up Cuba and Venezuela and look how socialism turned into communism and look how the people in those countries have suffered for decades and decades. You see, socialism only works while there's a lot of money to give out. But as soon as that money starts running out, they go down the shithole. That's just how it is. Man, Pizza Guy is hot today. Our country is already socialist. Trump is a dictator. This is not hate. This is facts. The Republicans are socialist nationalists under MAGA. So I am a nationalist. But just because Hitler was also a nationalist doesn't mean that nationalism is bad. Nationalism means that you are for this nation first. That's what that means. And Trump is not a dictator. The problem is that there have been so many presidents, so many people in office, in government, that haven't done jack squat when they have come into power. So that now that President Donald Trump is cleaning up decades. And remember, he only has 4 years to do this in, because we don't know who's going to be next. He has decades of cleaning up to do, and he only has 4 years to do it in. Of course he's going to look like a dictator. Of course he's going to look like an authoritarian. He has to clean up so much crap that he has to say, yeah. I'll give you an example. If your parents are telling you to take out the garbage, and they come back and say, hey, did you take out the garbage? No, take out the garbage. And they come again, take out the garbage. And they come again, and they take out the garbage. What's your reply going to be? Normal reply would be, you're always telling me what to do. You're always telling me to throw the garbage out. Why? Because you don't do it. Oh, my parents are so strict. You know what? You get up in the morning, you fix your bed, clean your room, go brush your teeth, grab your breakfast, get ready for school, or go to work, whatever it is that you're going to have to do in the morning. If you live with your parents, if you're underage, or if you live with your parents because you're helping them out, bro, don't do everything right. Do everything that you know is responsible so that you don't get told what to do. Again, I'm going to go ahead and bring up this protest peacefully. Peacefully. That's all we're asking. Peacefully. Because I'm going to tell you something. If they act this way, now I like how Democrats try to use the same points that we're telling them that they're doing, But if they act like this against federal agents with guns, with weapons, imagine what kind of citizen they're going to be against us, just the regular people. They're going to be violent against us. And then somebody's not going to take it. And somebody's going to pull a gun. And they're going to do this. So you have to respect the law, and you got to be very responsible with your freedoms and your rights. Thanks for the super. I have $242,000 in my bank account. Wait, do you have a daycare? Sorry, I couldn't resist. My bad. I have to get back to work. Trump is awful. Pizza guy, come to the right side, man. Come to the right side. You will be on a great team, and you will be on the right side of history. Albert Einstein said nationalism is an infantile disease with what I comment no more. All right, man. Have a good day at work, man. Thanks for stopping by. You always do support the channel, so I appreciate you, pizza guy. Take care, buddy. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this clip, and then remember, I know there's a little bit of distraction over here. Pizza guy just came and stole the show. And by the way, man, even though he's not on my side, you guys have to understand that he is the stream boss. I didn't have it turned on, but he really is the stream boss today. Now, he doesn't like President Trump, so I won't punish him with the dance. I won't punish him with the dance, but just so you guys know, he is the stream boss, okay? All right, let's go ahead and finish this, because he said 2 shootings, and one of them was ICE agents. Well, there is a Christian channel. You guys remember this, the 700 Club? I haven't watched that thing forever, but we're going to watch a little clip. It's like 3 months ago, but let's see what happens here.
After we've got pregnant women getting dragged through the street, we've got high schoolers just getting American citizens, by the way, getting taken away. And so, yeah, I think it's a fair point to say, well, these ICE agents are being put in a horrible position because they're asked to do things that are not legal or are unconstitutional. But here's the thing, they're still doing them, and we are still dealing with the repercussions here in this city. Minneapolis has been on this glorious, amazing comeback. And this is just setting us back because we've got to deal with it. And so, no, look, Minneapolis, we're going to get through this. We had 10,000 or something people protest peacefully yesterday. We have thousands and hundreds of thousands of people that are standing up for their neighbors right now. We have people that are not taking the bait of this Trump administration because they all know, we know, they're looking for any excuse to come in with greater force and occupy our city. We're grinning down this bear. We are doing right by our city and the people in it, and we're not backing down.
All right, he's not backing down. Now, the whole year, they had 2 shootings. 2 years. 2 shootings the whole year. Let me see what this is. For all of you Christian people out there, if you haven't watched the 700 Club in a very long time, well, now we're going to watch it. Laurie, how are you? Welcome. Welcome to the Dennis Herrera Show, where we tell the truth, whether it hurts or not. The truth shall set you free. Now, Laurie, I noticed that as I scroll up, you have been here for a bit. My bad. I can't see everything. I cannot see everybody's comment, okay? Minneapolis mayor is an imbecile moron. Well, let's listen to the 700 Club. Now, just so you guys know the date here, this is 3 months ago, okay? 3 months ago, so just a little disclaimer. I am not saying this is happening right now. But, Michael, pay attention. You might learn something today.
The city of Minneapolis is caught in what some call an urban doom loop. As crime increases, businesses leave, the tax base shrinks, and everything continues to decline. Well, some blame soft on crime policies the city has adopted in the wake of the riots after George Floyd's murder. Well, Dale Hurd reports from Minneapolis.
This was the Minneapolis that was. If the old version of Minneapolis was anything, it was clean and safe. Today is very different. Lifelong residents of Minneapolis.
Remember the old American dream? Yeah. For some reason, migrants, I guess they don't build countries, they destroy them. Very weird how that works.
Will tell you there was a time they could walk these streets without a care. But today in Minneapolis, in many parts of the city, those days are gone.
This is absolutely crazy. Another mass shooting in Minneapolis. This is the second one in a day.
While there are...
Am I a liar? The guy, the mayor from Minneapolis just said there's only been 2 shootings. And one of them was ICE, he says.
Still some nice-looking areas. Parts of the city range from risky to dangerous. There are homeless encampments. Addicts roaming the sidewalks get free needles from the city. The police department reportedly is down from some 900 officers to 550.
I can't wait.
Residents tell us 911 calls often go unanswered. Some have given up reporting crimes. Police communicate.
Some have given up reporting crimes. And politicians in Minnesota and Minneapolis keep defending illegal immigrants. I am not going to say that they're all illegal immigrants. There's a lot of legal immigrants as well that are very bad. There are also our own American citizens, crackheads, drug dealers. We got all that stuff. But what we're saying is we don't need outside evilness to keep coming in here and making our local problems worse. That's not what it's all about. So there you go. So the mayor from Minneapolis says only 2 shootings, and one of them was ICE. Is that right? Well, 2 mass shootings in one day.
Nations are now encrypted, so citizens can no longer track crimes in their neighborhoods.
They can't track crimes in their neighborhood, but they can track ICE. Fantastic. Great job, Minnesotas. Great job, governor. Great job, mayors. All chief of police, superintendent, all of you guys, great job. Great job, law enforcement. Great job.
The Minneapolis Police Crime Dashboard indicates that crimes are going down. Minnesota State Representative Walter Hudson doesn't buy it.
Crime hasn't gone down. Reports of crime have gone down because people know. Like, you create a culture where the citizen knows they're not going to get an answer from 911. The citizen knows the officers aren't going to be there for an hour. The citizen knows that even if the officers get there and apprehend their offender, that offender is going to turn right around, be out 24 hours later, and probably come back for retribution because you called the cops.
Businesses.
There you go. Keep calling me a liar. I am telling you, I was not born yesterday. I was not born yesterday. I'm almost a half a century old, my friend, and a lot of my big brothers and sisters here are older than me, and they know what I'm talking about. That's why they agree with me. Now, if you are very informed and you look at history and you listen to the news and you listen to different networks and you put your A and B together, you will see the right answer right in front of your face. Here it is. There's a mayor, Democrat mayor, just happened to be Democrat. He's the mayor here saying that there's only been 2 shootings the whole year in Minneapolis. Look it up. Look up how many shootings in Minneapolis. And then you can tell me if I'm lying. And here's a report. There's a guy, 2 mass shootings in one day. You come on, man. At some point, you gotta be in agreement. I don't care if you're on the left. You gotta put your country first, man. Don't play stupid games. If you play stupid games, you already know the saying. You win stupid prizes. If you actually win anything at all, because you might just be disqualified. Even from stupid contests, you will still get disqualified. That's how stupid you would be.
Have fled the downtown and property values have collapsed. The 31-story Ameriprise Financial Center, purchased for $200 million in 2016, was sold this year for just over $6 million. Only.
Whoa, what? Let's see. Downtown Minneapolis, Mary Price Financial Center sells at 97% discount. Oh, wait a minute. Is that what they're doing? Are they devaluating property to maybe getting ready for a communist era? Huh. I never thought about that. Never saw it coming. Never saw it coming. Are you leering yet? Are you leering something today? Oh, today you're going to leer. You're going to leer a lot. Look at that, man. Minnetonka-based Onward investors paid $6.25 million to add the 31st story office building to its growing downtown Minneapolis portfolio. It most recently sold for $200 million in 2016. Wow. Wow.
3% of its old value. Minneapolis attorney Chris Maddle is one of those leaving the city after years of taking these photos of crimes being committed outside his office window.
Look at that.
Someone was killed near his office front door in August.
I have always loved downtown Minneapolis, but I'm up at night worried about my employees when I'm hearing them getting accosted on their way to work. There have been times on Monday and Tuesday mornings around 9, 10 a.m. where we hear gunshots. None of it's reported.
Property owner Jeff Sweetall left Minneapolis for Utah after losing millions from crime and falling property values after the 2020 riots.
Tenants would call the police. They get no response. So the police wouldn't come out. There was more and more crime. I had to park my car on the street, and it was broken into 5 times in a year. 5 times in a year. One car. We had windows smashed in, and all the time. So I'm not going back anytime soon.
Car vandals strike again.
There were more than 500 car break-ins from July to August this year. Minneapolis police admitted they spotted some of the suspects but did not pursue them because of department policy.
We've interviewed many people who call.
3 months ago, this video, the police didn't pursue the criminals because of department policy. What the hell is the police there for? You can't make this up, folks. Ozzy, welcome. You cannot make this up. Okay. All right, this is going to be a stupid question. If you're a criminal, I understand your response. If you're an illegal immigrant, I understand your response. But if you are a sane, legal migrant or an American in this country, do you see that the police is being told by the mayor and the governor to stand down against crime? Then you wonder why President Trump wants to send in the National Guard. Somebody mentioned the 10th Amendment. I don't think they know what the 10th Amendment is for. But if they this is the Democratic politicians, guys. I'm not trying to be Republican. I'm just trying to use common sense. You heard that. The police knew about it, but they stand down. They can't pursue criminals. What the hell kind of policy, department policy is that? You know what? No wonder they got rid of 400, police officers. No wonder they keep saying defund the police. They're not doing jack squat. Might as well get rid of the police, man. Now I'm on their side. I'm with them. Get rid of them. Get rid of all the police. They're not doing anything. If somebody breaks into my car, and the police see them, and they don't follow them, I'm with the leftists on this one. Defund the police. Get rid of it.
All 911.
Get rid of useless waste of money.
In Minneapolis, they'll be placed on hold. Some people have told me sometimes they'll have to call back several times.
Liz Collin, a local news reporter in Minneapolis for 15 years, is now the senior reporter at Alpha News and the producer of the documentary The Fall of Minneapolis.
It's impossible to ignore the role that politics have played in the decisions in Minneapolis. Policies have changed dramatically in the wake of George Floyd. They're not chasing suspects, and you have these soft on crime policies that are being pushed by the Hennepin County attorney, Mary Moriarty, who seems to side with criminals rather than victims.
In a state where an axe murderer who killed his entire family was released from prison on parole this year, Minneapolis continues to move toward decriminalization and less policing.
We're going to let the thugs roll over you, and we're not going to do anything about it.
County Attorney Mary Moriarty now says she'll no longer prosecute most felony cases arising from traffic stops because she says they target minorities. The head of the Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association responded, the city of Minneapolis is under...
So, if you're a minority, go ahead, commit crimes. Because you're a minority, you can't be prosecuted. Remember, black people can't be racist either, right? Bull crap.
Siege with violent crime. Her new policy is a gift to criminals and puts every family in greater danger. Mattel says city policies have pushed businesses like his out of Minneapolis.
At bottom, number one, is a failure to actually support law enforcement. Second, the Minneapolis City Council has taken a view that practically every law enforcement stop has some sort of race-based reason for it, which is absurd. Third, the taxes that are happening in Minnesota are so outrageous that business is leaving.
The city of Minneapolis and the Minneapolis Police Department did not respond to our request for comment.
And look who's the moron in there talking smack. Now, I'm gonna tell you something, and you remember where you heard it. You heard it here on the Dennis Herrera show. You guys need to pay attention. You know, there is people that have this leftist mentality that they think that the police is not there to prevent crime, which is literally what they're there for. They are not there to prevent crime. They're just there to investigate after a crime has been committed. This is the leftist mentality. But I'm going to tell you what, if you continue to think that way, you're going to put your people at risk. You have to try to critically think. Critical thinking, somebody may have heard that before. Critical thinking. You have to understand, okay, so we have been talking about socialists, communists, Marxists. That is the new Democratic Party. We just heard of properties being very devalued. What happens when a property is very devalued? It is cheap to buy. And if you are patient enough, in order for that, when that crime gets cleaned up, your property value goes up so high and you are making bank. That's what these politicians are doing. I wish that they would encourage more investigations on all these corrupted politicians. How do we know that they're corrupted? Listen to the way that they think. What is the best way for a socialist communist society to move forward with socialism and communism? Is to allow crime to go rampant, unchecked, that it gets so bad that all of the common sense people leave those places and you just get stuck with a bunch of retards, low IQ people that you can oppress and they will never know that they are being used to stay in power. That's what I think. But don't take my word for it. Hopefully you learn before it happens.
In August, Mayor Jacob Fry did post on X that Minneapolis is back. We are leading the country in affordable housing. Crime is down across Minneapolis. Our police department is being rebuilt with more diverse officers than ever. And downtown is making a strong recovery with a population growing over 60,000.
So, they are making the police department so much better by adding diversity. And yet, they can't arrest somebody breaking into somebody's car. How dumb is that? That is crazy. That is crazy. We are watching it together, yes? We're watching it together. We hear the Minneapolis representative saying that those numbers are fluctuated. They are fixed, just like in Washington, D.C. That's why the chief of police stepped down, remember? because they were fixing the numbers. They were saying crime was down, but then you say, how can crime be down when violence and crime is actually up? I don't understand the leftist mind. I really don't. But all I know is that we're going to continue to say what we got to say. I wish and I hope that one day they will be on our side, because I have said nothing bad about any American citizen. I have said nothing bad about destroying this country. I have not been against anybody's freedoms, anybody's rights. If anything, I've been telling you, you got your freedom of speech, be responsible with it. It's very simple. I'm not hating. I'm not against it. I am exhorting you. I am rebuking you because it's your bad behavior. You have a rebellious demonic spirit that you have to control. You got to make a change in your life. You have to understand that. Otherwise, you're going to ruin this country for your children and your children's children. You got to see it, man. You got to see it.
After the mayor's post, the city reportedly saw in...
By the way, Patriots, we are going to listen to the president gaggle at the Air Force One. I know this happened a couple of days ago now, but we're going to listen to it today, after this.
1 month, 55 gunshot victims and double the homicides from the same period last year. The city government sounds hopeful about the future of Minneapolis. However, most of the residents and former residents we talked to did not. Dale Hurd, CBN News, Minneapolis.
Now, what we're watching is the end result of defund the police. If you're no longer enforcing the law, the criminals obviously wake up to that and say, okay, now I have free reign. I can do whatever I want, and there aren't any consequences to it. And so
there you go. That's exactly what you're telling the criminals. Hammerman and all these people that come in here, that come in and support criminality. That's what you're doing. There's no Gestapo, dude. Wake up. Wake up. If you're not a criminal, you don't have to worry about law enforcement. Very simple. All right, let's go ahead and get to our POTUS. Gaggle with the press on Air Force One. Come on down, my beautiful POTUS. We support you 100%. Look at that. They're watching the game in the back. You guys might not see that, but they're watching the game in the back.
What a nice grouping this is. This is really nice. Look at this.
By the way, I love Caroline right next to him. She is so cute. She's just listening. She's listening to how President Donald Trump is going to handle the press. Just watch her. If you're a patriot, if you are on our side, you are going to enjoy this. Caroline is so freaking cute. I know that sounds gay for me to say as a man. I should be saying she's beautiful, she's hot. She is all that. But in here, I don't know, maybe because she's pregnant, but she's got this like innocent like look that it's that aura around her. It's just amazing. That's all I got to say. It's just an amazing thing to see. Eric says, hard to believe that Minnesota, which was so instrumental in fighting communism when the U.S. hockey team beat the Soviets in 1980, now the city is communist crazy. Eric, thanks for that piece, bro. I didn't remember that part, to be honest. Thank you for sharing that comment. Appreciate it, and thank you for the super chat. All right, here we go, guys.
It's going to be very rough in about 10 minutes, so we'll have to go a little bit quickly. They just said very, very rough.
Sir, on Iran, have they crossed your red line yet to trigger a response?
Well, no, they're starting to, it looks like, and there seem to be some people killed that aren't supposed to be killed. These are violent, if you call them leaders, I don't know if they're leaders or just they rule through violence. But we're looking at it very seriously. The military's looking at it. And we're looking at some very strong options. We'll make a determination.
Which options have you been briefed on? Are you meeting with senior officials?
I'm going to tell you the end. Are you meeting with your Am I going to really, are you asking me to say what will they do, where will we attack, when, and at what angle will we attack from?
Are you considering I'm with the U.S. White House TV pool. I'm wondering, are you being briefed on options? I'm with CNN, sir.
Why don't you just say I'm with CNN? She says I'm with the White House.
Look at Caroline's face. This reporter did not want to say, I'm with CNN. Man, I gotta find something to laugh about, man, because this country is going down to shit, man. I gotta find something to laugh about. But you know what? A lot of my patrons are supporting, and we're gonna be fighting some of these criminalities that are going on. But man, look at Carolyn. Oh my goodness.
Pool. And I say, what? You're with CNN. You're with fake news. Because CNN is fake news. Go ahead, give me a question.
Can I ask how you're balancing and how you're deciding your response, the balance between helping protesters versus hindering them? Because I imagine that's a delicate balance to strike.
I mean, some of the protesters were killed through the stampeding. I mean, there's so many of them. And some were shot. We get a full report. I'm getting an hourly report. And we're going to make a determination.
Sir, the
son of the disposed Shah and some military leaders are encouraging you to take action in Iran. Is that a serious option? And are
some people have been shot, and we're looking at it. Yeah, please.
Are you going to go to Venezuela, or is Secretary Rubio going to go to Venezuela anytime soon?
We're doing well. Venezuela is really working out well. We're working along really well with the leadership, and we'll see how it all works out.
Are you ready to meet with Dulcie to go?
At some point I'll meet. Yeah, she's been very good. Look, she asked us, can we take 50 million barrels of oil? And I said, yes, we can. It's $4.2 billion. And it's on its way right now to the United States.
When will you meet with Machado this week?
Looking for something to grab here, because it's going to get rough, and I don't seem to be in a very. I think you did this to me. You put me in a position where there's absolutely nothing to grab.
Mr. President.
So I'm looking for something to grab, and it's not going to be Caroline.
Sir, have any oil companies made commitments to you, sir? Have any oil companies made commitments to the United States after your meeting on Friday, sir? Yeah. Which have Exxon, Cadogo?
I don't want to say. No, I didn't like Exxon's response. We have so many that want it. I'd probably be inclined to keep Exxon out. I didn't like their response. They're playing too cute.
Yeah.
What backstops or guarantees have you told the oil companies that you're willing to provide?
Guarantees that they're going to be safe, that there's going to be no problem, and there won't be. There's not going to be a problem. They had problems in the past because they didn't have Trump as a president. They had stupid people.
What kind of deal are you looking for from Cuba? What kind of deal are you looking for from Cuba?
You're going to find out pretty soon. We're talking to Cuba, and you'll find out pretty soon. And one of the things I want taken care of, and one of the groups I want taken care of, are the people that came from Cuba that were forced out or left under duress, and they're great citizens of the United States right now. You have a lot of people forced out of Cuba unfairly, so we're going to take care of, most importantly right now, we're going to take care of the people that came from Cuba that are American citizens or in our country.
Do you plan to seize any oil tankers that are headed to Cuba?
Well, we have a lot of oil people really interested. You saw that the other day, and that was just a small group because the room in the White House, we need the ballroom, actually. We could have filled up the ballroom practically. We have so many people that want to go in for oil. So you saw some great companies.
Are you going to send Starlink to Iran, sir, to help the people in the ground with the internet blackout for more than 72 hours?
We're going to be talking about that. We may get the internet going, if that's possible.
Are you talking to Musk
We
about
may
it?
speak to Elon, because as you know, he's very good at that kind of thing. He's got a very good company. So we may speak to Elon Musk. And in fact, I'm going to call him as soon as I'm finished with you.
Just quickly, Iran said that they would consider military and commercial bases as legitimate targets if you struck. Are you concerned about?
If they do that, we'll consider things targets they wouldn't believe. If they do that, we will hit them at levels that they've never been hit before. They won't even believe it.
Do you think
I have options that are so strong. So, I mean, if they did that, it'll be met with a very, very powerful force.
Do you think Iran takes your threats seriously?
I think so. Don't you think so, CNN? Don't you think so? Wouldn't you say that they probably do at this point? After going through it for years with me, being hit, Soleimani, al-Baghdadi, the Iran nuclear threat wiped out. Don't you think, and then you just had Venezuela, don't you think, she says, CNN, do you think they take your threat seriously? Wouldn't you say they do after all of the things we've done? What a stupid question. Go ahead.
Are you coordinating with allies on the response to Iran?
Mr. President, when will you meet with Maria?
What a stupid question. You think they won't take President Donald Trump serious? Oh, man, I don't know what rock you've been living under.
Maria Machado this week.
I don't know. I hear Tuesday or Wednesday. I look forward to that.
Have you named your board of peace for Gaza yet? Where do those plans stand?
The board of peace is being formed, but essentially it's the most important leaders of the most important nations. All nations, but the most important, you take the most important leaders and nations, that's who the Board of Peace is going to be. Everybody wants to be on it.
One group taking your threat seriously is one area taking your threat. The New York Post.
The New York Post treats me semi-fairly. So go ahead.
One group taking your threats very seriously is Greenland. Are you still thinking of military action there, or is there anything they can?
Where? Military
Greenland. Greenland. Is there anything they can offer you for a deal?
If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will, and I'm not letting that happen. If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will take Greenland, and I am not going to let that happen.
Is there any deal they can offer you? Either like
Yeah, sure. I'd love to make a deal with them. It's easier. But one way or the other, we're going to have Greenland.
Are you okay if that compromises NATO? If NATO effectively ceases to exist in order?
I've done a great job. I'm the one that saved NATO. I'm the one that got them to pay 5% of GDP. Wait a minute. It was 2%, and they didn't pay. Now they're paying 5%. I'm the one that saved NATO. You wouldn't have NATO if I weren't president.
Would you pull the U.S. out of NATO? Would you consider doing that?
Well, maybe NATO would be upset if I did it. Maybe NATO would save a lot of money. But I like NATO. I just wonder whether or not if we needed NATO, would they be there for us? I'm not sure they would. You know, we spend a lot of money on NATO, and I'm not sure they would.
But what would you say?
Now, what's happened is, as you know, Sleepy Joe Biden gave $350 billion to Ukraine and got nothing for it. I got rare earth back. I got, I think, value back far greater than that. And that's what he should have done. Now, if you look at what's going on with respect to NATO, we have a very good relationship. 5% GDP, and they pay us. We send them military equipment, and they pay us back the full cost of the equipment.
And what, just to touch up on the president, Greenland is better off having being part of the United States of America than having Denmark do their miserable protecting, which they have no protection over. The Greenland people will still continue to be the Greenland people, except with the benefits of a supreme country like the United States of America.
War is, we make money with the war, but I don't even want to talk about that. I want to save the lives. They're Russian and Ukrainian lives. I want to save the lives. That's the only reason I'm doing it. This is Biden's war. Should have never happened. Would have never happened if I were president. This is Biden's war. It's not Trump's war. All I can do is stop it. And I think we're making progress toward stopping it, which would be number 9 1/4. You know what the quarter is, right? Right? Thailand and Cambodia went at it again, but I got it stopped very quickly. I consider that 1/4 of a war.
When was the last time you made a tangible offer to Greenland yet? Have you made an actual offer to Denmark?
I haven't done that, but Greenland should make the deal because Greenland does not want to see Russia or China take over. They don't go there. It's very far away from Greenland. And Greenland, basically, their defense is 2 dog sleds. Do you know that? You know what their defense is? 2 dog sleds. In the meantime, you have Russian destroyers and submarines and China destroyers and submarines all over the place. We're not going to let that happen.
In the meantime, are you...
Pizza guy, be careful, man. Be careful, bro. Thanks for the super chat. He said, had to stop my truck again. You guys are nuts. This communist dictator Trump is invading NATO? You guys are seriously the communists. Can't believe the Republicans under Reagan were the ones who dismantled the Soviet Union. And we're trying to stop communism from being in this country. But the more you guys fight us, man, the more it's going to be here. And by the time that you people on the left figure out what the hell happened, it's going to be way too late. Pizza guy, drive careful to work, man. And have a great day, buddy. We'll see you around. Thank you for the super chat.
And if it affects NATO, then it affects NATO. But, you know, they need us much more than we need them. I will tell you that right now.
Are you going to increase the amount of military bases?
That's a war that should have never happened with Ukraine.
The UK and Germany.
I just happened to catch this. Alexis, pizza guy, you're on your way to collect your check from the daycare. Hey, you set yourself up for that one, bro. You know the Leering Center, bro. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. If he is collecting from the daycare, I ain't mad, man. He's always been supportive. So he talks a lot of shit about us, but he's actually supporting the channel. So that's all right. There's nothing wrong with your opinion. Just, at least show me that that we're working together. I don't mind people going against me. That's fine. But, when people get just hateful and they don't bring any constructive criticism, or they're not even supporting the channel, then what's the point, man? Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time, my time, or the people on the chat's time, okay? Thank you, pizza guy. You're the best, bro. Appreciate you.
Discussing plans for a joint NATO mission to protect Arctic security in Greenland. Does that change your calculus at all?
No, look, we're talking about acquiring, not leasing, not having it short term. We're talking about acquiring.
Does that require
And if we don't do it, Russia or China will, and that's not going to happen when I'm president.
Are you going to increase?
I'm going to be very honest. If President Donald Trump wanted to have Honduras, oh my gosh, I will run a campaign on that. Honduras will be so much better off as a territory of the United States of America, and the Hondurans can still be the Hondurans. We can still practice our culture, except we will have the benefits of the American people. What a fantastic thing to do. Can you imagine? Can you imagine having a president that is not going to tolerate any cartels in our streets, taking our money away, taking advantage of those poor people that are working their asses off for a loaf of bread? Wouldn't that be awesome to have a president like that? That would be phenomenal. That would be so phenomenal. Greenland should consider themselves lucky that President Trump and the United States of America is taking interest in them, because they're not going to lose their whatever culture they have. We don't even know what the hell Greenlanders do. I don't know anything about Greenland. Greenland doesn't exist for me in the world, but 57,000 people on a big ass piece of land, I just think it's a waste of land. And they will be better protected, by the way, because of us.
The amount of military bases on Greenland in the meantime?
Well, we have bases on Greenland. Yeah.
Are you going to do more?
I put a lot of soldiers there right now if I want, but you need more than that. You need ownership. You really need title, as they say in the real estate business.
You're on Minneapolis. Your administration has advocated for absolute immunity for the ICE officer who shot Renee Good. How do you define absolute immunity? What does that mean?
Everyone's seen it, and the woman was very violent. She's a very radical person. Very sad what happened. Her friend was very radical. Go and drive.
Officer, absolute immunity. How would you define that?
Well, I'm going to let the people define it. But immunity, you know what immunity means as well as I do.
So that officer should be back on the force?
People can't be treating law enforcement that way, whether it's ICE or Border Patrol or our police and men and women. You can't do that. We have, the law enforcement in our country is doing really well, despite the fact that Sleepy Joe Biden allowed people to pour through an open border. Crime stats just came out. We have the best crime stats on record, despite all the criminals he allowed into our country. We've gotten a lot of them out. We have to respect our law enforcement. at a very minimum, that woman was very, very disrespectful to law enforcement. And you heard the same noises, you saw the same crunch that I saw. You can't do that with law enforcement, whether it's police or ICE or Border Patrol or anybody else.
When it comes to ICE officials, though, Mr. President, well, just to clarify on the absolute immunity, do you believe ICE officers should have absolute immunity?
Generally speaking, I mean, these people have been harassed and threatened every day. They had bands out playing so they couldn't sleep at the hotel. I see what they're doing to them. They're threatening them constantly. And all they're doing is doing what I got elected on. We had millions of people that came into our country that are horrible people that shouldn't be in our country. They're murderers, they're drug dealers, they're people from mental institutions, they're the criminally insane. They're people from prisons. They were allowed to come into our country because Biden was a stupid person and the people surrounding him, very smart, very vicious, but they have no common sense and they're radicalized people. They're radical left people, not radical right. They're radical left people. And all they're doing is what I campaigned on. I won in a landslide. We won all 7 swing states. We won the popular vote. We won the districts. We won everything. We won the counties. We won the counties by 79%, I believe. I campaigned on the Great Border, and now we have a Great Border. But Biden let 25 million people come into this country, and many of those people are criminals, including 11,888 murderers, and we want them out. And I won on that. Now people don't talk about it because the border is so secure. Nobody wants to talk about it anymore. The border was one of the reasons I won the election. I've done such a good job on it that nobody wants to talk about it anymore. The border is totally secure. And now the crime stats just came out, and they're the best numbers since they were taken, and that's like 50 years ago. We have the best crime numbers, despite the fact that a lot of criminals were allowed into our country. We have to respect our law enforcement.
Sir, do you believe that deadly force was necessary after watching all the footage a few days have passed? What's your assessment there?
It was highly disrespectful of law enforcement. The woman and her friend were highly disrespectful of law enforcement. You saw that. They were harassing them, were following for days and for hours. And I think, frankly, they're professional agitators.
But just disrespect.
And I'd like to find out, and we are going to find out who's paying for it.
But just disrespect.
With their brand new signs and all the different things. But these are professional agitators, and law enforcement should not be in a position where they have to put up with this stuff. What that woman and what her friend and what their other friends were doing to law enforcement, not just ICE, law enforcement is outrageous.
Do ICE officials anymore? Can you tell us about your trip to Detroit on Tuesday?
I'm going to be making a trip to Detroit to talk about our unbelievable amount of factories that are opening up all over the country, many of which are car factories and car plants. We have manufacturing plants opening up at levels that nobody's ever seen before because of tariffs. If we didn't have tariffs, you wouldn't have them opening, although they were very happy with the November 5th election. But we have, from Canada they're coming, from Mexico they're coming, from Germany, from Japan, from all over Europe, and from Japan, other places, and from China. They're opening up car factories, car manufacturing plants at levels that we've never seen before. So I'm going to Detroit because they're going to be opening up plants in Detroit or redoing plants, but they're really ripping down old plants and building new. We're the hottest country right now anywhere in the world. I mean, think of it. A year and a half ago, we were a dead country, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Mr. President, the House passed a 3-year extension of the ACA. It's in the Senate. If it passed the Senate, would you veto it or allow it to?
I might, yeah.
Sir, do you have any information about the suspicious object that was found at Palm Beach International Airport before takeoff?
I know nothing about it.
Okay, and back on Iran, the Ayatollah said that he thinks that the protesters are trying to, quote, please you. Do you see it that way? What's your message to the Iranian people
I
right
don't
now?
know that they're trying to please me. They named a boulevard after me, but that's pretty pleasing. But I don't think they're trying to please. I think they just want peace. They want to have freedom. The protesters are after freedom. Iran has not allowed freedom for a long time. And the protests, I don't think they're trying to appease me. They're trying to get somebody to help them. They're under siege. And now it looks like they're being shot, which is a very bad thing.
Is the administration in contact with Iranian opposition leaders as this is unfolding?
Yeah.
What's the message to them?
Yeah. You're going to find out pretty soon.
You said that help is on.
Yeah, go ahead. With the beautiful red hair.
Thank you. Coming up with the premiere of Melania. Have you seen the movie yet? What are your thoughts on it?
I've seen pieces of it. It's incredible, I tell you. I think it's going to do very, she did a book, and the book was a big #1 bestseller, and this is a movie, and it seems to be captivating a lot of people's attention. It's very good. Because here we go again. Yeah, it's going to be doing the premiere at the Trump Kennedy Center. It'll be very exciting. It's a very hard ticket, I can tell you. Everybody, Wayne Gretzky and his wife Janet, beautiful wife, great wife. They said last night, gee, I want to go to everybody wants tickets to the premiere. I think it's going to be great.
Mr. President, is there any timing on the mortgage bond purchases you announced last week?
On the what? Mortgage?
Mortgage bond purchases by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac?
No, they're already doing it. They've started. Yeah, they started the process. And it's having a great impact. Interest rates are falling very rapidly. Not only for that reason, for other reasons too, but interest rates are falling very rapidly.
Do you have any sense that Iran wants
With no help from the Fed, because we have a total stiff at the Fed.
Do you have any? Can I ask you the announcement on the cap on credit card interest rates?
Yeah.
Coming out on Friday. What happens if the credit card companies don't comply by the January date?
Well, then they're in violation of the law.
And do you have congressional
Very
support?
severe things. No, I want a cap on credit card interest rates because some of them are 28, almost 30%, and that people don't know they're paying 30%. The people out there, they're working and they have no idea that they're paying 30%. No way. We're putting a 1-year cap at 10%, and that's it. They know it. They've really abused the public. The credit card companies have totally abused it. I'm not going to let it happen.
Do you sense any willingness from Iran to engage diplomatically with you, or perhaps negotiate on their nuclear program?
With Iran?
Yeah. Do you think they want to engage diplomatically with you?
They do. They called
They called you? Is it
yesterday.
Is it still an option?
Iran called to negotiate. Yesterday. The leaders of Iran called. They want to negotiate. I think they're tired of being beat up by the United States.
Can you share any details on that call?
Iran wants to negotiate, yes.
Negotiate what?
We may meet with them. I mean, a meeting is being set up. But we may have to act because of what's happening before the meeting.
Right.
But a meeting is being set up. Iran called. They want to negotiate. Thank you very much, everybody.
What are you going to do with
Be
East?
careful. A lot of bumps.
What's your plan for East Potomac? Are you going to renovate the golf course?
Yeah, we're going to make it a beautiful world-class U.S. Open caliber course, and ideally we're going to have major tournaments there and everything else. It's going to bring a lot of business into Washington. By the way, the crime stats just came out on Washington, D.C., and there is virtually no crime. It's gone from tremendous crime, murder, and everything else. There's virtually no crime in Washington, D.C. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you very much, everybody.
The best POTUS ever. Best President of the United States of America. Man, I like how people still come in there with a stupid ass line. Oh, the poorly uneducated. You guys are, that's you. That is you. You are the poorly uneducated. We heard the whole speech. You can go. Okay, I'm going to give somebody here a chance. 898, you don't deserve this chance, but why don't we go ahead and talk about the Fourth Amendment? You guys keep throwing amendments over here like you know what the hell you're talking about. Well, why don't we go ahead and talk about it? First of all, let's find out in the simplified version of what the Fourth Amendment is. And the Fourth Amendment says, the government or police can't search you, your home, papers, or belongings, or take things from you without a good reason. Keyword, without a good reason. What's a good reason? whatever they find is a good reason. Now, they will have to go show this in court if they have to do it that way. Let's see. A warrant requires a judge to agree there's probable cause, strong evidence, and most clearly states what's being searched and seized, protecting your privacy from unreasonable intrusion. Okay. Key idea simplified. Protection. You have the right to privacy in your person, home, papers, and effects. That is your Fourth Amendment. And I wish that people will search not just the one thing, but limits on police. Law enforcement can't just search or arrest you arbitrarily. I agree. To search or seize, police usually need a warrant from a judge. Yes. Probable cause. A judge only issues a warrant if there is enough evidence, probable cause, to believe a crime was committed. A specificity. Warrants must be described exactly what the police are looking for and where they can look. The exceptions. There are exceptions, like if you consent or in emergencies. We'll get to the emergencies. Let's see. What else do we got? I think that's pretty much it. Everybody's good with that? Yes? Fourth Amendment? Okay. Going once, going twice. Got it. Does any emergency, such as an invasion, trump any of those rights? Yes. Oh, man. You guys want to act like you know what the hell your rights are, and yet you don't understand them. See, you people like to go ahead and look at things that fit what you like, what you want. But you're not there to respect the law. You're not there to respect the Constitution. That's not what you're there for. That's not why you're here. Stop lying to me. Don't lie to me. Hey, Scott, I see you, brother. Stop lying. Don't lie to me. I am nobody's fool. I am nobody's fool. Let me read a couple of comments here. The Zing says, I give you my solemn word when I say my wife and I are multimillionaires. Oh, that's great. Let me guess. Are you supporting protesters, Democrats? You know, a pizza guy drop 100 chat, probably 200 on this channel. A pizza guy, which, by the way, he is a business entrepreneur. He's working on some real estate and stuff, and my hat's off to him. I am not going to fight against him because even though he is negative with a lot of the comments, I don't blame him for the way he thinks. I know why he thinks the way he thinks. But I can tell you, if that man is listening to me right now and decides that he is going to go the other way, he's going to be a great influence for the right side of the people. You as a millionaire haven't even dropped one miserable 99-cent chat. That's how pathetic that is. So I'm glad that you're very rich, and that I hope that you get richer and you prosper even more. And I hope that you and your wife can find very joyful and moments full of life. I really mean that. Now, I always say this to people. There would be no problem if people respect the Constitution and the law. So A98 wants to talk about the Fourth Amendment. I just read to you what the Fourth Amendment is. I read to you what the Freedom of Speech Amendment, the First Amendment, the 10th Amendment, the 15th Amendment, the Fifth Amendment. We've talked about these amendments, and that's fine. But what I always say, it's something that people try to overlook, or they just don't care. We just had a massive illegal invasion. The president calls the exigent circumstances an emergency. Exception to the Fourth Amendment allows warrantless searches, including potentially into a car trunk, if police have an objectively reasonable belief that someone needs urgent help, evidence is being destroyed, or a suspect might escape, but is limited to immediate crisis and doesn't cover general criminal investigations or prolonged searches. The key is an immediate serious threat to life or property, not just suspicion. Emergency aid is hearing cries for help or seeing signs of injury inside a home or a car. A hot pursuit, chasing and fleeing suspect into private property. So when you have ICE agents chasing somebody they have identified as a criminal that they're looking for, and they run into your house, and they see them running into your house, they don't need a warrant to go into the house. Do you understand? When they see the criminal that they're looking for inside a car, and they don't want to cooperate and open the door and go in willingly, their window gets busted. They get dragged. They get smacked and, thrown in the ground, handcuffed, and put in the back of the car. That's how that works. Preventive destructions of evidence. Believing evidence will be quickly destroyed if officers wait for a warrant. Routine traffic stops. Opening a trunk without consent or justification during a minor traffic stop is usually unlawful. Usually. It doesn't mean that it is unlawful. I like this guy. This guy false. I'm fucking reading, bro. Do some reading. Go find out. Read. I'm reading. I am not making this up. I am reading it to you. What the hell are you talking about lies? Bruh. This guy, how retarded are you? See, this is why you guys get to hear me saying retarded and dumb and ignorant and idiots and all this other stuff. Because I'm actually reading the document for you, and you say that I'm lying. See, Brian, that's why I don't take you seriously. You think that's gaslighting. I am freaking reading it to you, which you don't deserve my attention, number one. So I don't care what you say. All right. You guys are my witness. I gave these guys my attention. I gave them facts. I'm reading the amendment. I'm reading the Emergency Act. I'm reading the document that tells you all the things that you don't know besides your amendment. So I'll tell you what, we're going to leave it at this. I already know that it doesn't matter what facts I present to you. It doesn't matter if I read factual information to you. It doesn't matter if I show you factual footage, video of something. You guys will always say lies, is false. You know why? Because you guys are transtifia. Because you guys are morons, idiots, ignorance, and any other word that goes to the bottom of the pit of hell. That is a word for you. Maybe I'm just have a bunch of retards in my chat that come in and troll. Maybe you guys don't even know what the hell I'm saying because you probably don't speak Spanish, English, or French, or any other language that a human should be speaking. You guys are probably using some Google Translate, and that's why you morons don't understand anything that we say on this channel. All right, so I did my due diligence. I gave you some information. You didn't accept it. Tough. That's on you. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and go to our next video. And let me see. Did I show you this before already? Protesters rage against ICE intense Minneapolis clashes. I think I might have shown you this already. Let's take a look.
Noam defends her domestic terrorism assessment.
If you look at what the definition of domestic terrorism is, it completely fits this individual. As you saw in the video that we released just 48 hours after this incident, showed that this officer was hit by her vehicle, she weaponized it, and he defended his life and those colleagues around him.
So DHS saying new video of the moments beforehand proves Renee Good was, quote, stalking and impeding a law enforcement operation all morning, as additional video shows how it went down from the officer's point of view. Watch.
You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy, says the lesbian veteran. Like, what kind of, why are you not in service right now? Yeah, that's right. She probably got DEI in service. I don't know what the hell she's doing. But that's not how you talk to law enforcement. What kind of respect is that? Why are you mad at ICE? Why are you mad at ICE? Let me see. Why are you mad at ICE? Go ahead and put it on the chat. I'll give you guys a chance to put something on there. Why are you mad at ICE?
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Oh! F around and find out. That's exactly what that is.
Fox News legal analyst Greg Jared joins us now. So, Greg, weigh in here. I saw on the Sunday shows they really took this on about the Secretary of Homeland Security's words and that, quote, domestic terrorism. This is actually a legal term that has been debated for years. What is your view on the situation here?
Wait a minute. You hate ICE because of illegal deportation? Let me see. Why is it that when ICE comes to Home Depot, you yell, La Migra? Go ahead, tell me. Why is it that you yell La Migra? Why is it that you go out there with whistles and make all this noise and say, ICE is here, ICE is here? Why is it that you do that? You know why you do that? You lying sack of shit. You know why you do that? Because you know they're here illegally. You are a sack of shit. See, I have no respect for you guys. You know they are illegal. And what happens to somebody that is illegal? They get deported. You got no rights and no privilege in this country. It's not yours. So shut the hell up. I was waiting for somebody to put a dumbass comment about hating ICE.
Well, Lawrence, domestic terrorism is actually defined as violence by individuals or groups driven by extreme political ideologies to try to affect government conduct through coercion, criminal acts. And, you know, a vehicle's a deadly weapon. And if you weaponize it to harm a federal officer, if you're doing it because you politically disagree with ICE enforcing the law, then sure. I mean,
no, they don't.
Can be described as domestic terrorism. Look at the database. It's filled with cases involving vehicles as domestic terrorism. And, you know, in the end, there's really no excuse under the law for resisting or fleeing law enforcement and accelerating your SUV with an officer either in front of it or perpendicular. That puts him in harm's way, triggering the law of self-defense. And the legal test is whether this officer at that moment reasonably believed his life was in danger. If the answer is yes, he does have a right to use lethal force. And in fact, in Minnesota, there's a specific law that allows officers to use deadly force by shooting at an oncoming vehicle. So I think the secretary may be correct here.
Do you think, and I just want to play devil's advocate because this is something that is highly debated right now. It is true, just by the statute alone, it looks like that the officer acted according to the statute. The Supreme Court has ruled on what officers feel is imminent fear. It is true that she impeded the officers, and they have footage of her doing it the entire day. But how do you...
The entire day.
Link that to...
How many chances did she have to get away? The entire day she's been doing this. How many chances did she have to get away until they finally caught up with her?
A broader push for domestic terrorism. I think that's the part where some people struggle.
Well, it goes down to the motive. Was this done to be anti-government and to try to change the behavior of ICE? And if the answer is yes, and there's considerable evidence that that was her motive, she was part of the resistance involved in trying to obstruct and block and hinder ICE, then sure, that's domestic terrorism. It would be important if there was a prosecution here, but of course, the driver, Renee Good, is deceased, although, you know, you heard the videotape in which her wife was saying, drive, baby, drive.
Right.
Well, that could be aiding and abetting fleeing police with a domestic terrorism motive. So, you know, it still is relevant.
That's a good point. I want to get your thoughts on another case. The federal prosecutors in Washington, D.C. have opened up a criminal probe into Fed Chair Jerome Powell. What is your thoughts on this? Is there some standing here for a case such like this?
Sure, there could be. The question is, did Powell lie to the Senate Banking Committee about the costs of renovations of two rather lavish buildings? The overrun has been staggering in the billions. The irony, of course, is the Fed blames inflation for that. The question was Powell dishonest, deceptive? Extravagant, lush amenities, gardens, fountains, fancy marble, ornate fixtures, luxury dining room. He denies any of that, but there is evidence it does exist. So the U.S. attorney, which began the probe a couple of months ago, has now issued grand jury subpoenas. But just because you do that doesn't mean criminal charges will eventually ensue. We'll wait and see.
He claims that it is government retribution because he refuses to lower the interest rate. Is that going to be a credible defense for him?
Well, it could be under the label of, retribution and selective prosecution. It's the sort of thing that others like James Comey, Letitia James have made in their respective cases. So it is a possible defense here.
Copy that. Greg Jarrett, thank you so much.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Steve Ducey. Well done. Well done. Can it be? Can it be? I am waiting for a live, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think they canceled that live. Here's some more CNN for you.
Just in, CNN has learned that about 1,000 additional Customs and Border Protection agents are set to deploy to Minneapolis. That is according to two federal law enforcement sources. An ICE agent there shot and killed Renee Good just last week. Let's get to CNN's Whitney Wild for the very latest on all this. In this additional deployment, Whitney, what are you learning?
Well, this is a massive increase, John, because this was already the largest immigration action to date with 2,000 agents spread throughout the Twin Cities. Now we know that it's going to be a 50% increase, 3,000 agents spread throughout that area. This is according to two sources. According to CNN's Priscilla Alvarez, Customs and Border Protection Commander Gregory Bovino had already been on the ground. He is going to be part of this operation. He is a well-known figure. He led operations in Chicago, New Orleans, and Charlotte. One of the sources telling Priscilla that he is going to be conducting targeted operations, which include door knocks. And in those situations, the documents that are provided to those targets will include administrative warrants, which are signed by an immigration officer but do not carry the same legal weight as a judicial warrant, or they will be copies of final orders of removal. John, as you mentioned, this all comes on the heels of an ICE officer shooting and killing Renee Nicole Good. Later,
you know what I think is very ironic from these libtards on the chat. It's when Charlie Kirk was speaking about love and unity and salvation. He got shot in the neck. And this woman was making fun of him getting shot on the neck. You know what the difference between Charlie Kirk and this demo rat is? Charlie Kirk was over there actually trying to have conversations with people. I don't have that patience. I am no Charlie Kirk. Okay? So you don't get that conversation once you piss me off. Second, this woman is out there trying to run an ICE agent. I don't care which way you slice it. He could have moved. Maybe he didn't have to be in the front. It doesn't matter. The fact is she stepped on the gas, and if she was celebrating and was happy that an innocent man who was a father, a husband, a son, a brother, a nephew, she didn't care and she celebrated his death. Her trying to run over an ICE agent, I call that justice. 100% justified. I don't care what you libertards in this chat say. I don't care about your leftist, corrupted, criminal mentality. We got nothing to feel bad about. Nothing. Even when we extended our sympathies, you guys got into this chat and started insulting us anyway. So what's the point? You get what you asked for. You get what you asked for. If I try to run over a cop, they'll probably do the same thing to me, which is why I respect authority. Don't commit the crime, and you're not going to go to jail. If you're not robbing anybody, if you're not caught selling drugs, they're not going to chase you. And if they come and grab you because they think you're somebody else, cooperate. Don't be an asshole like Brian 898 that thinks his Fourth Amendment right gives him the right to be an asshole. Don't do that. You got nothing to hide. Cooperate. I see a lot of smart Americans out there where the police are bad. Power trips, I get it. Fight them in court. 2 ICE agents, and this is to remind everybody, nobody, no one is above the law. Nobody, not even ICE agents, no police officer. If they misbehave, this kill is 100% justified. It's justified. She shouldn't have stepped on the gas the way she did, trying to run him over. And this should be a lesson for everybody else that still doesn't get it. Instead of you guys recognizing it, you turn more evil. It's like there is no hope with you people. We're going to have to use some flex. Robert says you're right. Okay, just let me say it, guys. You guys don't get in trouble. Just let me say it. It is unbelievable. You guys are over here making an excuse because let's be honest. Let's be honest. These people were acting a fool way before this incident. They've been attacking ICE way before this incident. So let's not play stupid. You are not over here feeling bad because she got killed. No, you're a criminal, and your criminal mind tells you that this is something that you can use to justify your criminal mentality. Well, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You guys want to call the Constitution when it's convenient for you, but when it comes to defending actual Americans, you ignore the whole Constitution. You dumb-ass mofos out there talking about due process. In the meantime, illegal immigrants are raping your daughters, killing your sons, drugging your streets. Due process while everybody else is getting shot. Where's the due process for the ones that died? Where's the due process for those who overdose trying to take a simple pill or smoking a joint that was laced with fentanyl? Where's the due process for those who have died? Where's the due process for rape victims? Huh? Where is the due process? Shut the hell up.
In Minneapolis and leaders at the White House have two completely different ideas about what happened. The White House continuing to defend that officer, saying that he feared for his life, that she attempted or did run him over, saying that this was an act of domestic terrorism. Kristi Noem doubled down on those comments in an interview with Jake Tapper on Sunday. Minneapolis leaders say that could not be further from the truth. She posed no risk to that officer, that this was a completely unjustified shooting, and they are calling for more local involvement in a federal investigation, which at this point is being led exclusively by the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minneapolis. New over the weekend, John, Democratic lawmakers attempted to enter an ICE facility. They were inside briefly before being escorted out. On Thursday of last week, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem had changed the policy about allowing unannounced visit by lawmakers at saying that they need at least a week's notice. And John, the reason for that, she said, was that it's too difficult to move around the staffing that is required for an unannounced visit. Basically saying when you have these lawmakers who just show up, that means that they have to take agents off of other important tasks and instead escort them inside these buildings. So now saying no more unannounced visits. Instead, they want at least a week's notice, John.
All right, so just some of the new developments there. Whitney, we know you're keeping your eye on it. Thank you very, very much. Kate?
Let's talk about these new developments with someone who knows everything about them. Joining us right now is the former acting director of ICE, John Sandberg. It's great to see you again, John. So first, on the hundreds of more officers that are now being sent in to Minnesota to back up ICE agents while they continue operations.
It doesn't matter what I tell these people. They will never leer, man. They will never leer, brother.
What do you think that will do to the situation?
Okay, I think it has a real risk of inflaming the situation. We really need to de-escalate things in Minneapolis right now. The state and locals have indicated they do not want this extensive presence, right, of immigration enforcement agents in the city. This doesn't mean, so I think what I'd like to see is we reduce the visibility of the deployment here. This doesn't mean we have to say we're abandoning immigration enforcement. I think some people have tried to characterize it as either you have these mass deployments where you have no immigration enforcement at all. We know that's not true. ICE has arrested millions of people since its inception without these images that we're seeing now. But by doubling down and redeploying, we're sending the opposite message that we do not care what the state and locals think. It's going to trigger more.
Pizza guy, I hope you're at work already, man. The hypocrisy for the right talking about daughters and nieces while supporting Trump and Pam Bundy covering up for Jeffrey. You have no proof of Jeffrey Epstein. That is false testimony, and you should be careful. If you are a religious person, you will be punished by that which is of the false testimony you have put on somebody else. So you got to be careful about putting false testimony. Nothing has been proven. That's the leftist talking point. That is a corrupted mentality, and that is what you are in trouble of falling into, my friend. You will never be able to come into the light if you keep believing those lies. Okay? You have to understand that. It doesn't matter what they tell you. This is flipping blue. This is flipping blue. Listen, whatever's going to happen, I will tell you this. As a religious person, I can tell you every single thing that is good and that is bad, God is in absolute control of it. That doesn't mean you get to blame him. What that means is if you are evil and you continue to follow your evil ways, your wicked ways, you will get what you're asking for. Just like people that ask for government, for people that ask for a king to rule over them, they were already free. All they had to do was say, thank you, God, for everything. They didn't have to do anything else. They were free to just be good people. But you know what? They can't. They have no control. There has to be a law. There has to be order. And so if this whole country turns communist, it is God's will. Because of your sin, everybody is going to pay for it. But I'm going to tell you something. Those of us who believe that God, the real God, the creator of the universe and everything in it, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the true God, the one Father that sent his Son to die for our sins so that we may reconcile that relationship with the Father because of our sin that separated us from God. Thank you to Jesus Christ and his sacrifice, we are able to restore that relationship between man and God. And those of you who keep denying him, that keep following sin, that keep being destructive and been demonizing other innocent people, you're breaking the law and you're excusing your bad behavior by I misunderstand the law. Calling somebody else a liar doesn't make you rightfully true. It doesn't tell me that you're wise and truthful. Just because you say that I'm lying, it doesn't make your lies truth. You don't have the rights to your own facts. You understand that? You don't. Facts are facts. You go out there and you start attacking law enforcement, you are going to get what you're asking for. There's nothing evil about it. You're lucky that there hasn't been more shootings. I'm surprised. How many times have I said it? When I see these people throwing rocks, breaking windshields, windows of ICE agent vehicles, I am surprised these guys don't come out and just pow, 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 pow. Control. Take them out. Put them 6 feet under. Respect law enforcement. If you're attacking law enforcement to protect criminality, you are a criminal. Throwing a rock that can kill somebody, because if it breaks a windshield, believe me, it can kill somebody. You are worthy of a bullet. But if you're out there protesting, speaking your mind, all right, that is your given right. But the moment that you become violent and start throwing things at people, people got the right to defend themselves. People come in here into my life, threaten my life, threaten my family's life because I speak the truth. Tell me, who's the evil one? The one that can talk? Or the one that says, I'm going to kill you? Tell me who's the evil one. Don't play stupid games. You will never win stupid prizes. Very simple. I will tell all my friends in Alabama and Florida and Texas to vote Democrat. My mom in Georgia is doing the same, and my sister in Pennsylvania is doing the same. Marjorie Trader Green leaked the phone calls with Trump. Marjorie Trader Green. Yeah, I believe that. Let's see. Jesus wouldn't support Netanyahu. We are sick of Trump. Are you serious? Do you really believe that? We are sick of MAGA lies. This is America, not Honduras. We have freedom, and the original Americans died for this freedom. Well, let me tell you something. This is a country of migrants, and I, as a Honduran migrant, have acquired citizenship in this country. And you know what the difference is between me and other migrants? Is that I love this country, and I respect the law, and I love the Constitution, and I interpret the Constitution for the American people, not for illegal migrants that are criminals that are defending all this fraud, waste, and abuse from the American taxpayers' dollars. That is the difference between me and other migrants like Somali who likes to commit fraud. Honduran citizen right here, my friend. And I stand for this country. You stand for criminals. You stand for communists. When are you going to wake up and see that? Are you that low IQ that you can't see that they're lying to you? You think that Jesus couldn't destroy the earth when he was here? You guys are so ignorant. One flick of the finger and this whole earth is done. Destroyed by Jesus. He saw the Romans. He saw the bad Jews. He saw all the bad people. He didn't come in here and say, oh, doggone it, Father, you were right. F these people. Everybody gone to hell. But that's not what he believed. So yes, he would support Netanyahu. Whether you like it or not, he would. Let me tell you what happened. And there is proof that the Hebrews were enslaved by Egyptians. When Moses came to Pharaoh, he said, let my people go. And the 7 plagues came upon Egypt. And the worst of them, when Egypt, the Pharaoh, decided to kill the firstborn of all the Hebrews, every Egyptian got touched. Every firstborn Egyptian got touched by the angel of death. And they died. That's right. You know why? Because they didn't obey the law. They didn't obey God's command. So in the same way, Jesus wouldn't have said anything against Netanyahu. Because Israel has been attacked and attacked over and over. And I have no mercy for terrorist Muslims. I have no sympathy for their war. Their hands are full of innocent blood. I don't blame Netanyahu when innocent children and women die because Hamas is putting them where the weapons are, where the rocket launchers are, where the mortars are. That's Hamas. Israel still has to destroy them. So who do you blame? Do you blame their own people for using their own children as shields? That's who you should be blaming. No, he's not. See, I'm going to prove you wrong right now. You said Trump is a Putin bootlicker. See, that's a word that you Democrats have been teaching you. I know, because they bring that shit in here all the time. But I'm going to prove you wrong. You said Trump is Putin's bootlicker, and you call him not a communist. Jesus died for all of us, not just the Jews. You support a 34 felon president. If you don't know what the 34 felonies are, my friend, you are so behind information. Go find out what 34 felonies were. Some bullshit case. Did you not watch the court hearings? Did you not hear the actual arguments? They were all bull crap. All of them. And talking about supporting criminals, if Trump was Putin's bootlicker, as you say, he would have never said that he doesn't want Russia to take Greenland. Do you agree with me on that? One of the writers of the gospel was anti-Pharisees and anti-Israel. Jesus preached against the Jews as he created a new religion. No, he didn't. That's a lie. I have no sympathy for fake Christians who don't follow Jesus. The IDF terrorists are the cause of the murder in Palestine. Well, Palestine doesn't even exist. But let's just say that Israel is guilty for all of that. What are they guilty of except defending themselves? If they kill 100,000 reporters, what are they guilty of when those 100,000 reporters are cited by Hamas? Why are they guilty of defending their country and their children? If Hamas wants to put Palestinian children where the weapons are, where they're attacking Israel from, that's Hamas doing. No other country has gone to their enemy's country to help the people get out of harm's way. Not other country has ever called and say, hey, listen, we are going to hit these targets over here. You might not want to be there. This is going to happen here in a couple of days. You got to go. Sending beeper messages, cell phone calls, propaganda flyers, telling everybody we're coming. The stupidest thing that they can do, because they let their enemies know what's happening. And then Hamas, instead of defending the people, they put their women and the innocent children in the spots where Israel says they're going to attack. See, Israel's not going to back down. They're going to go with what their word is. But if they decide that they want to put those people there, that is not on Israel's hand. Jesus did not come over here to change the law, my friend. As a matter of fact, he said, I did not come here to change the law. He said, I came here to fulfill it. And when Peter was next to him, when Judas betrayed him to turn him in to those people, he says, don't. Get behind me, Satan. You know why? Because Jesus knew that he had to die for us to be saved, my friend. For all of us. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? The Quran is a fake book. Islam, Muslims, is a fake religion. It was a religion created by Islam over 600 years after Christianity. Prophet Muhammad had no witnesses, no calling from God. He was a pedophile, which if you really care about Trump being a pedophile, you shouldn't be a Muslim. For they are pedophiles. I don't care if Israel has the same age limits. I don't care about pedophiles. But at least they're not yelling death to America. At least they're not trying to terrorize the world. Even their own Arab Muslims 100% deny that Palestinians are Arabs at all. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that real Arabs deny Palestinians are Arabs? Egyptians don't even want them. They got very minimum Palestinians in Egypt. They have a lot of Palestinians that have become Israelites. You know why? Because Israel is good. That's why all of the people from Somalia want to come to this country. Because this country is good. Why do Muslims come to this country? Because this country is good. And guess what this country is? It's a Christian nation. So isn't it interesting that you come and say all these negative things about Christians, but in reality, you can't find a better country than Christian countries. You are so unhappy with your countries, you have managed to destroy them. You have destroy your own people, and then you go to Christian countries and try to destroy them. Muslims are a destructive religion. There is nothing of peace from Muslims. I wish that I can defend them, but I see how they are. We have some people with personalities like that in Honduras. You give them a hand and they'll take your elbow. You try to feed them some food and share your food, and they take your food from you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Imagine you have one sandwich and you want to share and you give me half. I take both halves and eat them. That is exactly what your people do. So no, my friend, I cannot defend you on that one. I gotta give it to you straight. Now, I will appreciate that you're actually paying for these chats. The Bible wars against the rebuilding of Israel and says the man who supports this is a man under lawlessness. Yet a Muslim in New York City has done more for America in 1 week than Trump ever did. So let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Do you think that Mandani has done more in a week for America than any other person? You know what Mandani has done? He's grabbing other people's money. He hasn't made no money. He hasn't created thousands of jobs. He hasn't done shit. He has done nothing but to take the money from the rich people. That's it. That's very easy. Very easy Robin Hood mentality. You know what he called it on his speech? Going from like evil individualism to collective, to collectivism. That's communism, my friend. Not only did we fight against communists in this country, we had 9/11 and we swore we will never forget, and yet, here we are today. We have a communist Muslim as a mayor of New York. Think about that, Americans on the left. Think about that for all of those of you who call me a liar. Think about that. He was just elected, and the first thing he does is take money away from people. Hey, pizza guy, you get no tax and overtime. Let me know what happens when you do your taxes. I wanna see that. I want to see that. Yeah, nobody remembers 9/11 anymore, bro. Nobody remembers that. It's a figment of our imagination. All right, that's enough dosage from the CNN. Let me see. I think I want to hear the reply from the director of ICE in Minneapolis.
Joining us now with some answers to the questions that a lot of you have. ICE Director Todd Lyons. Todd, thank you for being back.
Thanks, Peter. Good seeing you.
So let's start in Portland, where the police chief was crying while admitting that 2 illegal immigrants who were shot by ICE this week have ties to Tren de Aragua, TDA.
It saddens me that
This is the kind of wusses that we have in office. This is supposed to be a tough policeman, and he's whining and crying about something he don't even understand. This is what you call white guilt, and I'm sick of it. I ain't got no white guilt.
even have to qualify these remarks because I understand, or at least have attempted to understand through your voices, your concern, your fear, your anger.
How many Americans did Christians in the Confederacy kill in the 1860s? And we know MAGA supports the Confederacy and racism. Number one, you have to understand something. But just because we had a disagreement, the North and the South, just because there was a disagreement about slavery, it doesn't mean that after the war is over, we're just going to be enemies. That's not how it works, my friend. See, that's the beauty about being here as an American. That's the beauty that a lot of people don't understand. For all of my Indian friends, all of my Native Americans. Now, I'm an Indian from Honduras. I get it. But we're still of the Americas in the continent. And that makes me an American native as well. So with that being said, that's the one thing that you don't understand. See, Indians were fighting before their own wars, trying to conquer land, trying to take over the hunting grounds, etc. But then somebody else came and they beat them. They take them out. And the Spaniards came and the Vikings came before supposedly Christopher Columbus, they say. But you know what? They didn't come over here to colonize or to bring a new civilization. Vikings came over here to rape and pillage. They were animals. Vikings came over here and just raped and pillaged. That was their job. That is their religion. To Valhalla, they say. To Valhalla. That was their religion. To rape and pillage. As a matter of fact, they say that before they left, they put their rape and pillage helmets on. And their wives already knew what they were coming to do to whatever it was that they came to. So you have to understand, there's a lot of history, bad and good, in this country. So today we are a nation of many nations. We are a nation where slavery, we came from non-slavery to slavery to non-slavery to slavery. It's happened throughout history many times. But today we have the law of today, not the law of 1,000 years ago, of over 200 years ago. There has been amendments. We have a constitution. A lot of things have changed. Team Hype, you don't even know shit about me, so shut the hell up. See, you guys will never understand, because you know why? You probably got your education from the Leering Center, so you will never lear the truth. But the rest of us that have common sense, the rest of us that love this country, the rest of us that agree that there was horrible history, but we are now today free, land of the free. We are not going to forget, and we are going to try to fight so that this country stays great. Stop blaming ICE agents and get the hell out the way. Let them do their job.
Director Lyons, what's he crying about?
You know, Peter, I have no idea what he's crying about. You know, Border Patrol agents were conducting a targeted enforcement operation on suspected TDA gang members in a human trafficking prostitute sting in his city. So I would think he would be happy that we take these criminal elements out of his neighborhoods, but I'm not sure what he's crying about. He went on to say that he didn't want to victim blame. There were criminals in this situation, not victims. And if you use a 3,000 to 4,000 pound vehicle to attempt to ram a law enforcement officer,
that's a history lesson to show you that they existed in Egypt. You guys never lear. You never listen to lear. I'm not going to explain it again. If it went over your head, it's because you ain't got no brains to understand. The punishment that came upon Egypt, that's what you missed.
whether it's one of his officers, state police, or a Border Patrol agent, there's going to be consequences. And we're happy that we're taking 2 TDA gang members, which TDA is a known suspected terrorist organization now, out of the community.
And moving on to Minneapolis, there's this video that most people watching have seen, but we are going to put it up on the screen. It's the officer's point of view taken by an iPhone. He's got an iPhone in one hand and a gun in the other hand. Why no body cam?
So we're still in the process of deploying body cameras for all law enforcement officers. Unfortunately, in the last administration, we didn't have the funding. Only our special response team had that. But the officer made that decision, his team, that they were going to arrest agitators that day. That's why he was recording. You know, as you can see in that video, he was documenting the license plate, documenting the area. And he wasn't standing in front of that vehicle. He was going around to the driver's door where the other officer was attempting to make that arrest when, unfortunately, that incident happened. So, you know, a split-second decision on his part. You know, he had to draw his weapon while he was still filming, and his training kicked in. But again, if a civilian puts himself in this situation and you get involved in a law enforcement operation, it's just not smart, and tragedies happen.
There is some new math coming out of Minneapolis this weekend, courtesy of the mayor, Jacob Fry.
50% of the shootings that have happened thus far in Minneapolis this year have been ICE.
This guy still lying, bro. He said there was only 2 shootings. I'm going to get that clip back. I'm going to get that clip back. Hold your horses. This motherfucker. We're not going to let that one slide. We're not going to let that one slide. We're not going to let that one slide.
And joining us now to respond, Minneapolis Mayor.
Anybody can see that this victim is not a domestic terrorist. I mean, my goodness, she's like doing a 3 or a 4 or 5 point turn. This looks like somebody that's trying to get out of there. If doing a 3-point turn.
Say, quote, this was a federal agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying. Does your rhetoric need to change?
Yeah, I said this was a federal agent recklessly using power that ended up in somebody dying because that was a federal agent recklessly using power that ended up in somebody dying. It's exactly what happened. I mean, am I biased in this? Of course, and I'm biased because I got 2 eyes. Anybody can see these videos. Anybody can see that this victim is not a domestic terrorist. I mean, my goodness, she's like doing a 3 or a 4 or 5 point turn. This looks like somebody that's trying to get out of there. If doing a 3-point turn or a 4-point turn is a domestic terrorist, and my wife is a criminal every single day, it does not make sense. We've got to be operating from a point of course, have this investigation. It should be a neutral, unbiased investigation where you get the facts. And by the way, I shouldn't be the one conducting the investigation, nor should Christy Nome. But you should have an entity that is able to do it with some common sense and operating in reality.
Chief, what's your reaction to the Homeland Security Secretary's claims and also just the assertion that the officer feared for his life?
Well, that our officers are doing everything to be proportional in what they do. There's no indication to think that an officer caution, even as Tom Homan has said, and allow a full and impartial investigation to proceed.
Mayor Frey, the police union in Minnesota released a statement that says in part, quote, the hateful and anti-law enforcement rhetoric by Mayor Frey and other politicians have made their jobs and those of local and state law enforcement more difficult and dangerous. The job of law enforcement is difficult and dangerous enough without the agitation by leaders in our state and communities, unquote. Do you think that you could bring down your rhetoric? Do you think you should?
Well, hang on a second. I support our law enforcement. Our police officers in Minneapolis are doing an incredible job. I am so proud to work with them. I was the guy, by the way, that stood up against defunding the police back when it was hard 5 years ago. And these honorable officers that have stayed and that have come on have been incredible. By the way, community members that have traditionally been...
Did you hear that? Even though it's going fast, he stood up against the police. He was the one that was supporting defund the police. And he says he's so proud of the police that stayed because they're doing a tremendous job. Look at the police officer's face. He knows he's bamboozled. He knows that this guy is a fraud. And I guarantee you, he's got something on this officer. I can tell you that right now. These guys are just trying to cover each other's ass because they have fraud against themselves. Oh, I can't wait for the truth to come out. But I'm trying to get to a point.
Pretty critical of law enforcement officers are supporting our police. They have kept people safe. They have done right. They have abided by the Constitution, which is a massive juxtaposition against what we've seen from some of these ICE agents. And yeah, no, they have my support. So, I mean, as far as my position vis-a-vis law enforcement, no, we're there with them.
But that's not me. It's the Minnesota Police Union saying that your rhetoric agitates these protesters.
Look, I can't speak for the police union. I certainly never will. But I will speak for myself. And I'm grateful for the work of police officers in our city, especially the last several days. I mean, these servants are tired. They're working tirelessly. They're drastically, by the way, outnumbered by the number of ICE agents and beyond that we have in our city right now. And they deserve our full-throated support.
Mayor, what would you say to somebody who says, look, these ICE agents, they're also law enforcement. They're doing a job that they were sent to do by President Trump and Secretary Nome. They're not there because they want to be there. They're there because they were told to be there. And if people have an issue with it, they shouldn't be protesting the ICE agents. They should be protesting outside the White House.
Did you hear him? He said, that's true. That's true, he said.
Well, I think that's...
Hey, Aiden. How are you, bud?
Probably a fair point in that, look, of course you need to enforce laws, of course, but there's also a requirement that you carry out laws and carry out enforcement in a constitutional way. And what we've seen is that people are being plucked off the street indiscriminately. I take that back. There's discrimination only to the extent that they are Latino or they are Somali, and then it feels indiscriminate thereafter. We've got pregnant women getting dragged through the street. We've got high schoolers just getting, American citizens, by the way, getting taken away. And so, yeah, I think it's a fair point to say, well, these ICE agents are being put in a horrible position because they're asked to do things that are not legal or are unconstitutional. But here's the thing. They're still doing them, and we are still dealing with the repercussions here in the city. Minneapolis has been on this glorious, amazing comeback. And this is just setting us back because we've got to deal with it. And so, no, look, Minneapolis, we're going to get through this. We had 10,000 or something people protest peacefully yesterday. We have thousands and hundreds of thousands of people that are standing up for their neighbors right now. We have people that are not taking the bait of this Trump administration because they all know, we know, they're looking for any excuse to come in with greater force and occupy our city. We're grinning down this bear. We are doing right by our city and the people in it. We're not backing down.
That's all the time I have. I have a weekday show every day, 5 to 7 Eastern. You both are welcome anytime this week.
I missed it.
That was some wild and crazy stuff. It sounds like she doesn't believe a single word that she is saying right now. And I don't know if Donald Trump was drinking a glass of water, if she'd actually be able to speak. Because here's the thing, she's calling Minneapolis like this dystopian hellhole. You know how many shootings we've had so far this year?
Boom, there it is. Shit, the whole time. Now I'm going to play this. And I want you to listen to his story. Right here. Listen to this, okay? All right, let me go ahead and put this at normal speed. And I'm not trying to make things up. I'm just, I'm going by, this is CNN, so you can't tell me that it's Fox lying to me, okay? Listen to this.
You know how many shootings we've had so far this year? 2. And one of them was ICE.
Fry.
50% of the shootings that have happened thus far in Minneapolis this year have been ICE. In other words, we've only had 2 shootings. One of
You got both of them. And then you have the statistics that says that 2 shootings, mass shootings, happen in one day. Crime is up, but the stat numbers are down. So he goes around on both of these videos to say that there's only 2 shootings. And I just show you a clip talking about, let me grab one more clip so I can show you. I'm not going to tell you. I just showed this video earlier. Now watch this. He said it on both sides, right? Both videos.
Today in Minneapolis, in many parts of the city, those days are gone.
This is absolutely crazy. Another mass shooting in Minneapolis. This is the second one in a day.
Well, there are...
Second one in a day. Okay, thank you, SoCal. So even if you're saying, okay, it's only been 12 days, is that really a statistic that you want to tell me? See, I don't go by January 1st through December 31st. There is a reason why they have a fiscal year. There is a reason why they go in the last 365 days. You can't change stats by a calendar day. You got to say in a year, on 365 days. He said twice, only 2 shootings, which is bullshit. The way that he's putting it out, and my point is, he's putting it out that there has only been 2 shootings in the last 365 days. Now, if you want to accept that, this year, you are a fool if that's all you can get out of it. Because just because this year just started, it doesn't mean that you're going to discard what has happened in the last 365 days of the year. So, SoCal, again, you go with this politically correct wording. You need to stop that, bro. You need to think outside the box. Don't make excuses for this guy. Don't make excuses for him. Right. And there it is. If you know what? So, okay. So if you guys want to excuse him, why do you keep bringing up stuff from 20 years ago? Things that have happened against Trump. Why is that still counted? But here you're saying he's correct. No, he's not correct. He is literally lying to the people by giving them a deceitful information. It's only been 5 days in the year. Seriously. Only been 5 days in the year. And you're going to pull up a stat? There's only been 2 shootings here in Minnesota, in Minneapolis? Come on, man. You cannot be that stupid. Please tell me that you're not that stupid. Man, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But you know what time it is. Everybody knows what time it is. Everybody know what time is it? What time is it? Anybody? I know you guys feel it. It's that time, my friends. It's that time.
Yeah, you're not getting out of the way.
Oh!
Usually we see ICE arrests happening in Walmart parking lots. But today, in an unexpected twist, we will watch 2 illegals tackled and arrested inside of a Target.
He's a worker. He's here working.
And the fun doesn't end there because we have a Minnesota Karen interfering with another ICE arrest in the middle of the snow-filled street.
I need your judicial warrant. I'm the state representative for this area.
And as usual, we save the best for last. we will witness Minnesota rioters getting their daily dose of tear gas. And for today's dessert, please enjoy a visit from Greg Bovino and watch him tackle a rioter to the ground. Bon appetit.
Christian, do you have anybody want us to call? My mom. What's her number? Hey, all border vacation.
One of the workers at this local Target is being arrested by ICE. I guess Target hires illegals now.
Christian. Oh my God.
You got his
contact info? Oh my God. Oh, that's sad. This is bullshit. That's Christian. He works with me in Drive Up. Christian, just be. It's okay. He's a worker. He's here working. No, it's Christian. Christian.
Oh, they took two.
What? Another one? No, Johnny's in there. Assholes.
Looks like Target had a buy one, get one free deal on illegal aliens today.
You're an employee here, man. Stay back.
Yeah, who are you? He's an.
You notice how that Mexican guy is standing right next to him that also works at Target? And you notice how they're not grabbing him, asking him for papers? They went in there looking for a specific person, and they found them. People, you don't know what they are there. Stop using the racist card. It doesn't work. I am also a migrant. The difference is I never came here illegally, never have been illegally. I'm telling you, I do get upset with libtards because the leftist mentality, they believe a lie so bad, there's no room to understand anything else. The reason why I sent SoCal and some of these guys to the corner for 30 minutes is because I get sick of getting this negative, stupid response. Meaning, so the guy challenges me with the Fourth Amendment. Okay, so we go and we read the Fourth Amendment. And then I find that an emergency, like an invasion in this country, does it trunk the Fourth Amendment? Yes, it does. And so we are talking about it. We talk about the 10th Amendment, the 5th Amendment. We talk about the 1st and 2nd Amendment. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we read. They see things, they want to see them. That's the leftist mind. I get it. That's the I am not for criminality at all. As a matter of fact, it will be zero tolerance of crime. You know what they're going to call me in Washington? A dictator, a tyrant, authoritarian. Shut the hell up. I am a man that believes in the law. I believe in God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. But when it comes to ruling of the land, you got to separate church from state. How many people have come in here, they complain, and they keep saying, well, this ain't the church. This is the government. Well, yeah. So let's go and separate everything. Don't tell me that Jesus will be disappointed on us with ICE. Are you kidding me? Jesus would have told them, hey, you know what you can do so that you are not persecuted for being here illegally? Don't break the law and come to this country illegally. Jesus says they will persecute you because of me. He's talking about Christianity. And yet people use Christianity to blaspheme against God, to blaspheme against the Holy Spirit. And you know what the price for that is? Death. And it doesn't come from me. It doesn't come from any of the Americans. It comes from God. So before you guys, go out there getting ideas of trying to judge us for standing up for the truth, for the law, I'm going to tell you, criminals get hateful. They get this angry They get very angry when they see law enforcement. They don't know what to do. They get scared. They hide. You know, and I am driving on the freeway. I'm doing 65 on a 60-mile speed limit. I am on the fast lane. And there is people just zoom, just passing me by. And there's a state patrol officer ahead. And then you see the red lights, just everybody slowing down while I'm going 65, cruising, boom, boom, boom. You know what? I don't care. You know why? Because I know that they're not going to pull me over for that. It's okay to go about 4 or 5 miles. If they were to pull me over, well, they're legit. I can say, wait a minute, I'm only going 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. It doesn't matter. If they pull me over because I'm going 65, they got the right to do so. And if they want to give me a ticket for that, it's very petty. But if they do, they're on the right. Why? Because I broke that law. It's very simple. Just don't make excuses for your bad behavior and accept responsibility. Be held accountable. Be ready to take accountability for your mistakes and for your actions. I will go ahead and, no, it's okay. Jesus was Jewish. That is correct, my friend. God bless America.
Employees. Get the out of here.
I like how people like to say that, right? They like to cuss out the ICE agents because they know that they won't do anything. Go tell that to a gangbanger. All of you leftist people in here that I left in my chat that support criminality, why don't you go tell gangbangers, drug dealers to get the hell out of there? Go ahead, grab your phone, start recording them, and go tell them, you cowards, shame on you for dealing drugs, shame on you for being gangbangers. Go, leave my country, get out of here. Go do it, man, and please record it. Make sure you do it live. I want to see what happens to you, okay? I want to see what happens. That's right. All of you mofos in here, go ahead. Put all your negative comments in there. I already know all you hateful trolls. You guys are no new. Yeah, you guys are not news to me. You guys are just in a nuance that I don't really care about.
Oh my God. Are you sure Johnny didn't go somewhere and hide? I saw him. I passed him.
And then when they got him up, Johnny was in the red hoodie, right?
Yep.
Johnny was in there too.
Damn it. He has his passport on him.
I was going to ask you what happened because he was just doing. I don't know. I can't see. I can't see.
I think it's Johnny.
Hang on. Step back. Hang on.
Do they have it? You guys have everything you need? You have the fucking warrant? You have everything to be taking him right now. Both of them. Where is the paperwork? Where is the paperwork?
Manny, what are we doing? Manny.
This isn't it right now. Not in Minneapolis. Where is the paperwork? Where is the warrant? Where are their warrants? Is anybody else going to ask?
Is that Johnny? Get on the phone. Hey, no. Get on the phone. Go on the phone. Go make a phone call. Go make a phone call right now. To your parents. Call your parents right now.
Dude, yeah, go to school. Pull your where's your shit?
Where's his sister? Where's his sister?
What's her number?
I don't think there's any other channel on YouTube covering more ICE arrests than me, so if you want to stay informed, you should subscribe. We have 3 more years of this at least.
There's a warrant! What's your name? What's your name? Judicial warrant! Show it to me now! I need your judicial warrant! I'm the state representative for this area! Show me your warrant! Show me your warrant! Show me your warrant! I need your judicial warrant! I'm the state representative for this area! I'm a state representative!
If you're a state representative for the area, you would know the law does not require ICE agents to have a warrant.
I need your warrant. What's your name? What was? Yell louder. Brian? Brian. Sir, can I see the judicial warrant, please? I'm a state representative. I would like to see the warrant.
Don't need one.
Then you're committing, you're abducting, you're kidnapping. Show your face. What is your face? My name is Erin Cagle. I'm a state representative for this area. This is my community.
This Karen is on a mission to complete the Karen checklist. Do you guys think she can do it?
Show me.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. So guess what? We're going to continue to fight on our side with the truth, whether you like it or not. And all you ungrateful bastards that are Americans, unfortunately, you will reap the benefits of our hard labor and work and support for our beautiful, strong, smart, POTUS, President Donald J. Trump and his administration. Go Kristi Noem. Get him, girl.
Your face. Are you two cowards to show your face? This is my community. Show me the warrant. Show me the warrant. Show me your warrant. I'm a state representative. I want to see a judicial warrant. Can I please see the judicial warrant? I would like to see a judicial warrant. I would like to see a judicial warrant. Let me see.
As the police just drive right by. Yep, it's ICE agents. Let them do their job. Yet, this representative thinks that she has the right to stop them. They don't need a warrant, woman. Knock it off. Go make some cookies.
The warrant, please. I'm a state representative. I'm a state representative from this area. This is my community. I want to see a warrant. This is my community.
Oh, good. I'm about to say, look at this coward throwing ice balls behind him. He thinks nobody's going to watch, and I'm glad he got hit.
Minnesota is used to the Joe Biden regime, where they were allowed to burn down entire cities with zero consequence. Their BLM tricks won't work this time.
That was a grenade. That was a tear gas grenade. Damn. Stay back. Come on, guys. I don't want you guys to get hurt. Aria, bear tackle that football. Guys. Don't antagonize them. They literally just killed someone. We're killing you. Fuck you. Guys, let's. Fuck you. You guys are fucking murderers. Gotta go inside. You guys gotta go.
It seems like we have something in common with the rioters. We both want certain people to go home. In our case, we want the illegals to go home.
Give you a rest. Yeah, we're not getting out of the way.
Leave her alone. Leave her alone. Out of the way. Out of the way. Get out of the way.
Get your hands off him!
Yeah,
This is what happens when parents fail to raise their kids. Spare the rod, spoileth the child.
Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back!
Get back!
Good.
Right now. Who's down there? What's your name?
Give me your hand!
Who's down there? What's your name? Give up your hand!
Why?
Don't step up here.
Stand back.
Not here.
Here.
Yeah, down.
These Minnesotanites are clearly mentally unwell and need medical treatment in an insane asylum far away from the general population.
It's true. Pull your mask down. Show us how Hey, watch out.
People are telling me.
Can you get him somewhere?
She made.
Paying for a nice car.
Oh yeah, no, the Wish.com plate carrier is really fucking tough. You got those feet? Watch out for that kid.
You hear the ICE agent? Hey, watch out for that kid. But you guys push the buttons, don't you? Don't forget to subscribe to the Crime Chef's channel. Help him grow. He has allowed me to share his content as long as I give him credit. And well, even if he didn't need me to give him credit, I think that, you know, it takes some time to be able to put some videos together. So go give him your support. If you like his content, you can always subscribe, give him a like, and of course, always tell them that Dennis from the Dennis Herrera Show sent you there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a break. We're going to save some for the second half of our day. Big shout out to the pizza guy that really hates us, but he is my biggest supporter today, so he gets the credit. He gets to tell his opinions, and at least he is not on EBT like most of these losers out here that are libtards hating us, and especially the ones that hate the truth. I find it very ironic that these people fight for illegal immigrants, and yet they hate migrants that love this country, that stand for the law. I don't get it. I don't get it. But that's just the way they want to be. That's on them. I'll tell you what. I love you, my American compadres. Latinos for Trump, gays for Trump. Everybody for Trump. Listen, Iran for Trump. Venezuela for Trump. Honduras for Trump. Every country around the world says they are for Trump. They ask for Trump, except for the criminal illegal immigrants and those white guilt dumbass people that never learn what history is all about. Now, I will say, after saying all that, I do want to wish you guys to have a good rest of your day. I may see you later, God willing. Be good.